So this is the one lens I said I would never buy. And guess what? Here we are today, and I have the Fuji 16 to 55mm f2.8. Now, why did I buy this bloody big lens? I have cursed this lens for a long time. Not out loud, but to myself. I've gone back and forth, forward and back, and finally I have purchased this lens. But why now, and what changed my mind? Also, if you like this review, please like and subscribe. You really are helping to support this channel. Now, if you are a subscriber of this channel, you know how much I love the Sigma 18 to 35 f1.8. I love that lens. I use it almost 70% of the time for all my work, YouTube or client, and it basically lives on my X-H2S. I just love the way my footage looks and that low light capability. However, there are a few basic niggles I have with it. Things like the size of it. Huge. It's not very travel friendly. It's a big reason as to why I had to buy the 16 to 55. Now at this point you may be laughing, because if you know anything about this lens, it's also huge. But it's not as big as the Sigma. Weighing in at 657 grams, to me, this thing is moderately okay. Okay, I'm not stupid. I know that it is a big lens and a big reason of why I haven't bought it earlier. When you compare it to something like the kit lens, that 18 to 55mm, I was more than happy just to stick with that. But I've changed my mind, and I'm so glad I did. Now, they call this lens a big bag of primes, and honestly, quite rightly so. This lens already, after having it only a little while, has completely made my heart sing, especially when it comes to photography. It's amazing how much even those 2mm between a 16 to 55 and an 18 to 55 make. So let me give you a few reasons why I upgraded. Because I still think the kit lens is an amazing lens. It's just I needed a bit more. Now, this is one of FUJIFILM's red badge labels. This means it's one of their flagship lenses. They have put everything into this lens. They've put a lot of sweat, blood, and tears into making such a beautiful lens. Now, this is my second lens. I already have the 50 to 140 telephoto lens, and already having that lens did make my choice easier. I knew I was going to get something very well made. It's weather resistant. It's an all metal build, and like the 50 to 140, it has a constant aperture of 2.8. The autofocus is amazing. It is stunningly good. It's quiet. It is comparatively better than the Sigma 18 to 35, and definitely less noisy. And when it comes to travel photography, this actually might be a better choice to make than taking 5 or 6 different lenses. Maybe actually this is all I need. Now, I do have a huge trip coming up soon. I'm actually heading to Southeast Asia for a few months, and that really is the real reason I have taken this lens. I know it's built like a brick house, it's weather sealed, and I know that I can just chuck it around. It's going to withhold the elements and how, you know, it's treated. I do treat my gear very well, by the way, but you know what I mean. It's nice to know that I can be a little bit more hands-on, a bit more rugged with this thing. But why haven't I bought this lens earlier? What has deterred me and what has been putting me off? Here are some of the cons. So as a hybrid shooter, it is important for me to have good stabilized footage, and this has no optical image stabilization, whereas in the kit lens there is. So that for me does make a huge difference. I think having that feature as a hybrid shooter makes it kind of difficult to snub the kit lens. But with the X-H2S now, I do think we do have better stabilization in the body, and will hopefully make a lot of my footage much more stable. This thing is pricey, it's not cheap. If you buy this new, it's going to cost you around $980. That's nearly $1,000. So I did buy this used and waited for a good price and a reputable company to know that I would get a good deal and it would have, you know, all its bells and whistles still on it. One of the other things is it doesn't zoom internally, unlike the Sigma. So this is always a concern, I think, for a lot of people who have this lens, is that you don't want to be getting sand, rain or dust in your lens, and having an external zoom does create a little bit of anxiety there. Like I said, I haven't had this lens long, but I hear from other channels that this doesn't seem to be a problem. But the biggest con of all, and the thing that is noted most, is the size of it. It's huge, it is big, and it's wider than the Sigma. But if I'm comparing it to the Sigma, it's a lot lighter, and it fits on my X-H2S like a hand in glove. Those two really pair well and complement each other. The Sigma is such a long lens, especially when you add the adapter. So for traveling, and for me, going around Southeast Asia is not ideal. And when you hear people say, if they could choose just one lens, it would be this one, it really is hard after a while to deny the Fuji. So like I said, those cons were deterring me from buying this lens, but from already shooting with it a little bit, I'm not worried at all. I think I've made the right decision, and I really look forward to using it in all my work, not just for YouTube, but everything that I work on. I feel like it's going to be a workhorse. I feel like it's going to sit on the X-H2S more and more as I go on. The only last con I have really is that it is at f2.8, where the Sigma is at 1.8. That low light capability is fantastic if you are somewhere that needs more light entering your sensor to make the scene sharper and less grainy. So I think I really will miss that. But if I want to shoot at night, I do have other lighter lenses that can, you know, fulfill that job. As a day-to-day workhorse, this could be my new companion. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. These are just my thoughts. Do you have the 16-55, or are you thinking about it? Let me know, as I said, drop them in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's make some waves, and I'll see you in the next one.